going on, everybody? Jolt here from the TokenMinorities, and I'm here with something we probably haven't shown on this channel before, and that is a League War featuring the National Pokeball League and the National Pokemon League. Now, as you probably notice, these two leagues have the same initials, NPL, and we're not okay with this. So we did decide to challenge them to a friendly, yet or not so friendly League War to defend our name. And joining me today for the first of several episodes of these war battles are several friends from the true NPL, the National Pokeball League. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Togavor here, and pretty excited to be bringing you these games. It was a lot of fun to do, and really cool to see something different done with draft format.
Yo, this is Riz. Hi, what's good in the hood?
What's up, guys? Cloud to be here, and it was actually really cool to be a part of a sort of cooperative draft for the first time.
Yeah, this was definitely something that I believe has never been done before in the draft format.
Nope,
and
not to my knowledge.
I guess before we actually jump into the games, we probably should kind of describe how this whole thing went down. So, like we said, we challenged the National Pokemon League over Twitter, and they accepted to this League War challenge. We had no idea what it really was whenever we challenged them. But essentially what ended up happening is that each league did its own draft. So we each had our own draft pool to work with, and we each put forth 15 members, including both coaches and analysts, and each coach or analyst drafted 7 Pokemon from their own draft pool. So basically, instead of trying to snipe each other like you would do in a normal league draft, you were actually trying to help each other make the best possible drafts and compete as a team to defeat the opposing league. So that's generally how that worked. You think I explained that pretty well?
Yeah, I think so. Not a lot else to add. I think it worked pretty well, like as far as the format goes for it on our first time. So I'd say that's a success.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I liked it.
Okay, so then from there, we're just going to go ahead and I guess we're going to split this into a series, maybe like 5 videos or so, of all of the battles that took place in this. I'm not exactly sure how many videos it will be yet, but in this video we will be going through Togavor's set against Turbo Blaze IV, I assume that's 4, Turbo Blaze 4, and then Trev's series against Aki VGC. And yeah, these are some pretty good sets.
Who doesn't even really play VGC? So
he doesn't play VGC. I had no idea. So I don't know. But definitely several very strong players that are going to be featured in these 2 sets. And considering this is Tog's set, I will let him take the lead from now.
Yeah. So all right. So versus Turbo, we had our full roster. As you can see on your screen, 6 months came obviously from each side, and we both left off him on, as you kind of have to do with a roster of 7 Pokemon. So I had a Doublade that didn't come, and he had an Emboar that didn't come. As far as the reasoning for that goes, Doublade had a pretty terrible matchup, as he had Seismitoad, which pretty much completely walls it, and I can't run like gimmicky and natural gift grass because the Violet's kind of necessary. And then like Tangrowth deals with it pretty well, and then Mega Manectric and Hydreigon both deal with it very well offensively. Togekiss can also deal with it offensively very well, and like Shadow Sneak doesn't do that much to Jirachi, and it can carry things like Shadow Ball to hit me super effectively, so I really didn't think it was a good bring. As far as his reasoning for not bringing Emboar, I think it was just because I had a pretty nice amount of fire resist on my team in Mega Blastoise, which that is in Mega Blastoise, by the way, Latios, and then also Talonflame. So he would have, and then I also have an electric immunity in my Thunderous T, so he would have had to predict very well with that thing, and a choice variant was pretty much not possible versus my team at all, and I also had priority in Lucario and Talonflame, so it makes a lot of sense why he wouldn't bring that and why he brought the 6 I did, and I pretty much explained that. So as far as the sets go, I have a very specially defensive Talonflame with Will-O-Wisp, Flare Blitz, Bulk Up, and Brave Bird. No, that's like 7 mons. That's way too many moves. I think, it was Brave Bird. It's because I made 2 different versions of the team, but it's Brave Bird, Roost, Flare Blitz, and Will-O-Wisp. Pretty specially invested. It has enough Spadef and HP to live a Specs Draco from Hydreigon, which is pretty nice. And get a Will-O-Wisp on that. Next, I have an Assault Vest Thunderous Therian. This is really to take on a lot of. It's a really nice switch into Tangrowth, and it can 2-hit KO most variants of Tangrowth with Sludge Wave. It has Focus Blast and Grass Knot to hit the Hydreigon and the Seismitoad for, you know, a really nice amount of damage depending on their sets. And then Volt Switch is in general nice against his team, as his only immunity I can OHKO with a Grass Knot, barring Manectric before it Mega Evolves. Next we have a pretty bulky Latios with 2 attacks. It's a pretty bad set and it doesn't do anything in this game. Next we have an Assault Vest Roserade with 4 attacks, including Dazzling Gleam to take on that Hydreigon. A Mega Blastoise, just standard, with a pretty decent amount of speed, and then Rapid Spin, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, and Scald, and then a Swords Dance, Life Orb, Lucario with both Bullet Plunge and Extreme Speed. So that's pretty much my team, and just looking straight ahead of matchup, Lucario has a phenomenal matchup if that Jirachi is either defensive, or I manage to take it out as at +2 with Tangrowth Weakened, and Jirachi either very much weakened, shown to be defensive variant, or killed. That's a very easy win condition. So that's what I'm basically looking at team preview as far as win cons go. Talonflame also puts in a ton of work, as he has no way of OHKOing it besides a rock move or a Thunderbolt from Mega Manectric. But even that rock move, if I get a Will-O-Wisp on something, won't be able to do anything. So that's basically it, looking at matchup. It's been a while since I played this game, so I have no idea what I led with, so you can just click play here.
Alright, let's do this.
I was pretty sure I ran off with the Roserade predicting either this or Seismitoad to lead, which worked pretty well. I went for the safe HP Fire there, in case he went to Jirachi, as I know it 2-hit KO'd anyway, and if he was AV Sludge Bomb, didn't OHKO, so there wasn't much of a reason. I just made the safe play and go for HP Fire here. If you want to slow that down a little bit, it's going a little speedy.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, so yeah, I get a Dazzling Gleam off, which doesn't kill, which means that his Hydreigon is also Assault Vest, which is cool to see. So that means there's a minimum of 3 Assault Vests in this battle. And then right here, he's going to threaten me out, and I decided to go straight into my Thundurus, as that probably wasn't the best play. I probably should have just sacked off Roserade, but offensively it outsped break pretty much all of his offensive mons and did a lot of work. Unfortunately right here, he's going to burn my Thundurus, which is actually pretty important, as it's going to let it get weakened down, so that way it can't be pretty much a full stop to this Mega Manectric anymore. As you can see, that HP Ice did pretty much nothing due to that, due to the Assault Vest and the HP investment I have. A Sludge Wave is going to do a lot to it because I get a crit and I'm good at the game, but didn't really do anything. You want to go ahead and actually, you can keep playing it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I go to Lottie here, but the thing about this Lottie is I'm pretty sure I'm like Shadow Ball, T-Bolt is my only 2 attacks with Roost and Defog. It was a really bad set. It's what I get for making this team in 15 minutes. No, it might have been, I don't know. I had Psyshock. I think I had T-Bolt. I have no idea because I changed my team in between Game 1 and Game 2, so there's that. But right here, I just sack my Roserade as he makes a nice unnecessary prediction and clicks Fire Blast. No reason to do that.
He's
but
just flexing.
You know, he's just being a cool man out there. But Talonflame can take any one hit, and Braver obviously seemed like the best play there because his Bird Resist is a Manectric, which really isn't the greatest thing in the world. But the reason I did bring a bulkier Lottie was to handle that Manectric, as it is definitely the biggest threat to my team. But right here, I just see no reason not to. Well, actually, no. Right here, I didn't want to risk a Rock Lure, as I myself have Jirachi in the NPL, and I ran Ancient Power on it with Occaberry to be like a perfect lure for Talonflame and basically 2-hit KO. Pretty much any spread, even a Spadef one, but he isn't that good, clearly, and I should have predicted that. Not that he's not that good, but he just didn't prep, I think, as well as he should have. But he does have the nice Cobra Berry there for the Blastoise. A little surprising, honestly, given the fact that he showed himself not to be Scarfed. It really surprised me that he didn't have Grass Knot or Thunderbolt to take on my Blastoise, as that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But you know, he didn't. If you guys want to, say whatever, Joel, you want to pause it and talk about whatever's happening at any point, go ahead.
I mean, you're doing just fine right now. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So I get lucky and bad and break through a Air/Flinch right there. Pretty much some pretty large amount of hacks in my favor. I save Blastoise for like almost no reason, but other than the fact that like I know that he's Scarf, and I'm basically I assumed that he was Scarf based on the damage that he did to my Blastoise. As it is a very bulky Blastoise, and the fact that he didn't show lefties. He's either going to be Scarf or Yachi Berry, but I got that Ice Beam off and there wasn't a Yachi Berry, so it was clear that was the case, and so I decided to go into Talonflame and preserve that for a stack at a later point, most likely to the Mega Manectric, as my team really struggles to switch into it. So yeah, and that would give me the momentum back in my favor if that was the case to happen. Right here, he makes what I consider to be a pretty bad play, if you want to pause that.
I agree entirely. I was about to say that too.
He had about 4 better moves to click depending on his prep. Either Rock Slide, if he had it, was just the safe option to go for. Stealth Rock to either pressure me into defogging and giving him the momentum back, and also just making it so that my Talonflame couldn't be an effective check to his Tangrowth or his Jirachi, and also Toxic if he had it, as he has really lacking amount of ways to reliably take out this Talonflame, and also Scald because it guaranteed hit this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Scald might be his best play here, because that would force you to lose.
Or even a knockoff to get rid of my lefties. He had 4 better moves to click.
I was just thinking he should force you. He should just force you to root so he can go into Manectric for free. That's what he should do.
I mean, any of those.
Pressures you so much. Like,
yeah, I agree with any of those plays more than EQing. There was just absolutely no reason to make that play.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what his moveset was, but based on what Seismitoads always run, there was guaranteed 3 better moves to click that turn on his moveset. So,
Nah, Stylin is always the best play.
And with that, GSBoy628 enters the call. He brings Lapras to League games because he's real, but
Oh lord.
He brings Lapras to the one game he had an amazing matchup for. Unbelievable.
I know. Regrets made.
And then says afterward, direct quote, "I'm never innovating again in my life."
Anyway, let's continue. We're just okay. Go.
Okay, so I switch out because I'm like, now he's probably gonna make a halfway decent play. So he does decide to make a halfway decent play and go for Scald, the move he should have clicked last time. But what can you say? Right here, I gotta wait for it to load because I have no idea what I did. So I got a Lottie here. Definitely, I don't know. I definitely should have just brought Energy Ball on this thing in, classic hindsight 2020. Or gone for a Psyshock there, as I already knew that Jirachi wasn't Scarfed, so going for that was a little unrealistic, unnecessary, but also since it wasn't, since Jirachi wasn't too weakened, Psyshock plus Shadow Ball, depending on his spread, could have not killed. So, it wasn't the worst thing, but had I just clicked Psyshock twice, he wouldn't have gotten Rocks up. So definitely not the best play that I made. I think one of the only real mistakes I made in this game. But I am Toxic on this Latios, which I forgot about, but it actually ended up being a pretty nice set, as he's going to go for knockoff and do a hell of a lot, getting rid of my E-Belt. The reason for my Latios set is I ran T-Bolt and Shadow Ball as coverage moves for the 2 Pokemon that would naturally be switch-ins to Latios, but really Psyshock did so much to Togekiss anyway that definitely should have ran another move, most likely Energy Ball or a Dragon coverage move in that case, but I didn't. Right here, Talonflame is going to just survive the rocks there, and as he'd already shown that he had Earthquake on this Tangrowth, Earthquake was actually the move to click there, as it would prevent me from roosting up on him. So I had to click Brave Bird there, and right here he's going to go to Manectric, and this is where things get interesting. You can shut on fast at this point because this part of the battle, is really dumb. Basically, he has Thunderbolt, and it's doing only a little bit less than I'm roosting, so I basically have to spam roost. And at this point, because of those couple misplays I made, he's really in the position to win. If he just keeps clicking T-Bolt, he's in a much better spot. For some god-forbidden unknown reason, he runs HP Rock on his Mega Manectric, even though Thunderbolt does more. And he could have ran, I get, HP Rock's nice, because, it also hits the Thunderous Pokemon. But also I should have clicked Will-O-Wisp that turn instead of Roost 100%, but, I didn't. But right here, okay, pause it. We missed the play and a half. I was like, you know what? This guy is playing, dude, okay, he has some sets he definitely should have brought in, and he's making some, like more than questionable plays, bad plays actually. So I was like, he's gonna click HP Rock here. So I make the play of the game and go into Lucario as he clicks HP Rock. For no reason, he should have clicked T-Ball. Because his way of winning was getting a para on my Talonflame. But because of that, he's gonna go to Rachi. And because he was a defensive variant, or I thought he was a bulky variant at that point, I just decided to click close combat, as that gave me my best chance to win the game. And, you know, his choke is my reward, and I take this game that I definitely should have won. Because, I don't know, I played a little safely, and definitely my prep hurt me. That Latios set was bad.
There's a lot of awkward prep in this game, I think, on both ends.
Yeah, on both ends. But, you know what? I fix it in the next one. So, okay, I'm going to go over the changes I made to my team. So I'm like, you know, Lucario didn't really have an opportunity to sweep. Now let me catch him off guard. So I ran a Choice Scarf Lucario. Also because he ran a Choice Scarf Togekiss that time, and I was like, oh, I can bop that thing with an Iron Tail. Only thing was, I got interrupted while I was doing my prep for this game. So this Lucario still had the exact same moveset as last time.
That's right.
Yo,
So
Scarf SD.
it was Swords Dance, Close Combat, Extreme Speed, Bullet Punch. So I was, you know, once I saw that in the battle, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna roll with it. If I predict the knockoff, right, with Seismitoad or Tangrowth, I can just click Scarf Swords Dance and win the game, and he'll never expect it. But yeah, it doesn't happen in the game. But anyways, that's that change that I made. I made my Talonflame more Spadef because it wasn't actually max Spadef. It was only enough to live that Specs Draco. So because of that stalling out, I wanted to be able to take those roosted T-Bolts or bad HP Rocks better. He just had no reason to not run HP Ice because Thunderbolt had Talon, and then HP Ice could actually make sure so he could actually kill my Latios with that, which he had no way to do. But anyways, Brave Bird Roost, Will-O-Wisp, and Bulk Up. I got rid of Flare Blitz because the reason that it was there for was for the Jirachi, which really didn't end up being a huge problem for my team. Thunder's Tea, I made it more Spadef than it was before, so it could take hits better. Just got rid of the special attack investment that it had, kept the same moves on it, which were Volt, Witch Grass, not Focus Blast, Wave. Then Lottie is where I made my prep actually better, and because he got those hazards up last time, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna run Defog on it and Rapid Spin on Blastoise because they were a really big hindrance to my team. And I thought, you know, he wouldn't expect for the double hazard removal, especially if they didn't have it last time. And it would have been really nice last time, and there's no drawback to Defog over Rapid Spin with this team because I don't have rocks on it or any hazards. Well, I could bring spikes with Roserade, but I don't. So it was just, I think, actually a really good decision on my part to run Defog. I also changed it to a Life Orb variant with Thunderbolt and Psyshock because it's only 2 attacks. Definitely just a good option, or a better option. It can't hit Hydreigon anymore, but my team pressures Hydreigon enough that it should die early game, similar to the way it did last time, so it should be fine. And I am Life Orb now because I felt the power of Life Orb Psyshock was really nice versus this team, and Expert Belt just wasn't good.
See, a question I have in terms of your prep, why not like Psyshock Shadow Ball? Because you already have a lot of stuff that pressures the Togekiss with Lucario and the Thundurus and Talon.
Shadow Ball, but you know what? It wasn't.
Okay,
But still,
fair enough.
I don't have a reason. I'm dumb. And Psyshock, like...
Or even Psyshock Ice Beam, get the freeze on Rachi and hit everything else really hard.
Stop. So that was probably the only mistake I made in my re-prep. The one thing I did do is I made Roserade a much better set. I ran Sub-Salac Berry with Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Hidden Power Fire. It's not something that I saw on my first look at his team, but on a second look and just playing through that game, it felt really solid. As after I outsped it, it's able to 2-hit KO his entire team. So I think that was actually really solid.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Alright, so we can hop into this next one.
Yes, sir.
My long explanation can... Holy crap, we're 20 minutes in. Okay. Maybe put on normal. I don't want to bore these people asleep with my lackluster narration. So I lead Lottie here because I feel like I can scare any of his Pokemon out as he tests for coverage, and I get a monster.
See, you don't
crit.
even need Thunderbolt. Like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, I know. Okay. Shut up, Joel. Or Energy Ball. I should have ran Energy Ball. That would have been good too. anything but that. But I guess if I ran
That's
a
good.
I couldn't touch Jirachi, which Thunderbolt at least does a pretty good chunk to it. But anyways, right here, I just fire off a Will-O-Wisp like I should have been doing all game and just burning his team, but Seismitoad gets burned again, so that's cool. And right here, I believe I just switch into my oh no, I go to Rose right here. I make a really offensive play, as if I get a sub up here, which I should be able to do on the Seismitoad, I can pretty much get a 2-hit KO on any of his Pokemon. And I get this sub up here, and I really think right here that he's going to scout for the Dazzling Gleam because I had it last time. So I go for Sludge Bomb because it was the safest play. I also didn't have Dazzling Gleam, so that's cool. But it really didn't matter. Sludge Bomb was my best play either way. But I did think that he would scout for it, but there wasn't really a prediction I could make that would give me an advantage. Because, yeah. Anyway, there's not really much else to say about that. But right here, I fire off an HP Fire as, even before Mega Evolving, I thought he'd be faster, and I thought maybe he would Volt Switch into Jirachi. Because Volt Switch had a chance to break my sub, I do believe, because I was pretty much max offensive. So that seemed like a really good play on his end, so that's why I went for that HP Fire, but I ended up being faster, but I still got a really good chunk of damage off of it. I'm going to miss a Focus Blast here, which is really unfortunate. But I did get that big crit off before, so, you know, I can't be the biggest complaint. And I get another crit, so that's really cool. And then I knock his Tank Growth out with a Sludge Wave, so Thundurus is putting in some work when it's not burned, which is a cool thing. And then right here, he's going to HP Ice and take out my Thundurus. So Thundurus doesn't check the Pokemon it's supposed to check, and now Manectric is scary to my team. But right here, I just bring it in, and Scarf Lucario puts in the finest of work, takes out his thing, and because I weakened Togekiss, not having Iron Tail literally doesn't matter, as it'll take out an offensive Togekiss from 11%. So you can already see my change-up in prep worked pretty effectively this game. And at this point, Blastoise seems like a safe play. I did think at this point, based off of last battle, he probably would actually put Grass Knot on this Pokemon, or at least T-Bolt, but he doesn't. But he's really good and flinches me down anyway, so that's a cool thing. Just kidding, I break through, but he's Colbur Berry, but I get another crit. This one actually didn't matter. The other ones, it might have. The crit on Tank Growth, I had a chance to kill with Sludge Wave anyway. So it could have mattered, could not have. But I got a Lottie here, and scared out with the Shadow Ball because I had it last time, but I only have T-Bolt, so I can't touch Hydreigon. Another flaw of this Lottie set, I just proved that I can't use Latios in any sense of it, basically. But right here, I make the legendary Fire Blast play because this man really likes clicking Fire Blast on my Lottie. Knew it was coming, so I got a Talonflame. It's not like I was sacking it at all. But basically my reason for sacking Talonflame, which I didn't end up needing to do, was because he, I figured after I sacked I could just go into Scarf Lucario, and Scarf Lucario would eventually be able to wear down and win this game with a 2-hit KO Jirachi from there. But I'm just going to get a Will-O-Wisp off on this Pokemon, and it's just, at this point, or it's not Scarf Jirachi, Scarf Lucario wins the game at this point, so that's basically all that's going to happen. You can put it on fast and watch me win. So I win this well, with actual good sets and better prep, and I played this game. Yeah, the other one I made a couple of like awkward plays. I think, given the prep that I made, the improvements I've made, I played this game pretty perfectly. I think.
Yeah, it was definitely good. Like in terms of the hacks department that you were referring to earlier, I think the Focus Blast miss against the Hydreigon mattered about as much as your crit on the Tangrowth.
Yeah,
like,
and then
it just mattered in terms of what you would have been able to take him out with afterwards. Like,
I don't think I would have killed the Hydreigon from where it was.
Well, it was Assault Vest. Remember, it was Assault Vest.
I wouldn't have killed it, but like he would have gotten less damage off on me, and then I would have been out of range of the Manectric at that point. So, and I would have had opportunities to spin or defog. So like.
Yeah. I think it was solidly in your favor this game. Like,
definitely.
There's no way. Yeah.
I mean, part of that's just because like he didn't change up his prep at all, which is like kind of silly.
Like Roserade and Talonflame just put in so much work in this set. It was kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even at the end there, even though Talonflame did win it, like Scarf Lucario had game, and Scarf Lucario was fantastic.
Yeah, Scarf Lucario is awesome. That's cool to see. Even when he has a Togekiss, like that's pretty risky.
The reason that I brought it was because I really thought that both games, because of the first game and just because of how much my team pressures it, Tangrowth would go down early game. Obviously, I said that about the Hydreigon going into game 2, and it didn't exactly happen. But like, I felt like there was almost no way it didn't go down early game because of how much pressure it was put on. Because in general, I don't think it had a great matchup, but Imbor didn't either, so he had to bring a 6th Mon. I really do feel like in team building that Tangrowth was probably the 6th Mon because bad matchup.
Yeah,
But
I'd agree
because
with
of that bad matchup, I felt like it was an affordable sack and one of his only checks to Lucario, so Scarf was good.
Okay, so with that, the real NPL advances to a 1-0 lead in this war. And the next series that we want to go over is between Trev, our NPL, the real NPL champion apparently, and Aki, VGC.
Quote-unquote real. You know, it's
Oh,
sad.
God.
This match pretty much decides
You
who's the
have to
actual.
And you know, it's sad. Wait. Okay, you can go ahead, Riz.
Well, this match technically decides who's the actual NPL champ because there's 2 NPL people.
I guess that's the case. You know what? Look down in the description of this video, and we will link this man's upload in regards to this particular battle. I want you guys to check it out. And let me know what you think of it. Leave a comment to this video letting us know what you think of that
Make sure
video.
you go drop him a sub and subscribe. He puts out some
It's some high
He just
quality
gives
content.
100% wholehearted, honest review. That's all I have to say.
It's a fantastic video. So
just say that we're never sarcastic. One other thing, though, just real quick. It's really depressing when you have to look at a matchup between 2 players and call Trev the legitimate champion of the National Pokeball League of Season 4. I think both me and Jolt just, we
that hurt a little bit for me to say it. I'm not gonna lie, but that's why I said kind of at the end of that.
Yeah, kind of.
I had to slide that in there.
Still, even then, Trev more legitimate than his opponent. I mean, what? Alright.
Anyways, so, Riz, Cloud, Cheese, who wants to take the lead on this one?
Alright, I got this. So, see Trev and Aki. So, Trev obviously has a Rain squatter over here. It doesn't seem like he has the best matchup because Aki has mons like Rotom Wash, Goodra, which are not very good versus Rain. He also has a Conkeldurr, which is also pretty good for Rain because it can revenge kill stuff. As well as Aki did have a Talent Flame, but he didn't bring it, which is also good for Rain because, yeah. So obviously Trev doesn't seem to have the best matchup, but Trev still can have some amazing prep and maybe win.
Yeah, my
Trev just has no way on his team to kill a Rotom besides Earth Power on Kieran Black, which while it does do 80, that's not reliable.
I mean, Kingdra is a pretty good switch in Rotom usually.
But even if you Draco, if he clicks Pain Split and then can pivot out into something I'm just saying it's really hard to kill.
Now, my biggest problem with Trev's team is just its lack of versatility. What you see is what you get with this team, and
basically
that's not great for team format.
He subjected himself to either getting a shitty matchup, or he could have gotten a really, really good one.
Yeah.
So he basically made the decision when picking the mons he wanted. So.
Trev is bad.
Look at all this Rain and Akira.
Basically.
Pretty much, yes.
Wait, what was his?
Yeah, and I wonder how he got that Kyurem.
His last mom is Electro. I wonder how he got that Kyurem.
I ain't mad at all.
Hey, geez, remember our match to get?
I don't need this right now. Go commentate, Riz.
So,
should I just jump into this? Let's just jump into this.
I'm gonna commentate this entire thing. I don't remember the match at all.
Well, we're all gonna try. Let's put it on slow and just do our best.
All I remember about the match with Riz and Cheese was it was pretty cold.
Oh, it was very icy. Oh god.
I didn't know Staryu had such a nice time in the glaciers, man.
Anyways,
Yeah,
shout out to Trev for being too chicken to join us for this commentary over this game.
Oh, that's true. Trev said, okay, by the way, just friendly announcement. I think it's pretty obvious the way we're talking about it. Trev gets absolutely demolished, and he's he can't commentate a loss for shit. So, just so you know, if there's ever an NPL upload that's late, it's probably because he lost.
Yeah.
Not that I can say much in that department, but at least I'm a little bit better than him on that front.
Alright, are we gonna start the battle?
Yeah, we can step into this.
Enough of me trying. So, he leads off with his terrible Kirim set.
Well, this is that rest sleep talk one, right?
Like, he had no reason. So he's like, I have no way to take out a Rotom, so let's not bring Earth Power. Like, I feel like that's his thought process when building this team. But as you can see, Dragon Claw does like 70. Metal Burst is
Metal Burst is pretty cool.
And instead
Kirim's
of
too fat to die though.
Instead of just killing the Sableye, Trev decides like, let me get some health real quick. So then he decides to go for Sleep Talk, which is clearly then unoptimal play at that point, as Aki just gets his health back. So Trev is
how did he
clearly.
not predict that he would Sleep Talk roll rest? Like really?
Okay, here's my real question though. Like, why did he actually not click D-Claw?
No, I don't know.
Trev is bad.
Like
Yeah.
he could have rested up on Rotom
Trev is bad.
or Nidoqueen.
I mean, we all know
Yeah,
Trev is
nothing
bad.
takes
He just
a
has to hack his
D-Claw.
way to a championship.
So another
That's what he does.
Restmon.
So another Restmon. Also, again, Sleep Talk is a bad play here. So Trev makes the correct play here. So he goes into Kirim on the Dragon type because that's what people do.
I mean, he predicted the T-Bolt or the Power Whip, so that's a good play, I think.
Yeah, he decides not to sleep talk with Politoed so he can sleep talk with Kirim. You know.
And then get a rest. Good job, Trev.
So this is what we call karma.
Then he gets
True.
crit by
And then he
knockoff,
gets
like,
crit, but
deserved.
Trev is bad anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, Aki knew his spread, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Then the
I mean,
Steam Eruption in the rain did 27. Like, oh my god.
I mean, Gudrazimon, at least
It's a
Trev
toxic.
brought one good, like, at least he brought the Toxic,
Yeah.
but at this point...
But it doesn't
it's-
matter, because hydration in the rain, like, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean, yeah, I do have to say, like, as far as Trev, like, playing, like, mediocrely and getting some hacks, he also did actually have just a terrible matchup.
Yeah, it's, probably the worst matchup in the whole entire war, actually.
Yeah,
I-
my guy had
Easily, I would
my guy
say.
had a pretty bad matchup versus me. Like, he had nothing.
Well, I meant, like, against us,
Now-
probably the worst matchup.
Oh yeah, against
And
us.
now that Kyram is gone, he literally loses to Rotom Wash, almost, except Kingdra, but still.
He does just lose to Rotom.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
Trev is
we
bad.
can't just fast forward
Sucks.
this.
Yeah, it took fast. I mean, like,
Oh wait, we have to...
the next game, okay, the second game is much more
Yeah.
entertaining.
No, now he's just
And then-
desperately trying to SD up on the Rotom, but it doesn't matter because he's burned and he's just gonna lose to this.
And then
Mew.
watch this. This
Oh
is the
no,
best
we got
one.
to see this though.
Oh.
Bop.
There it is.
Bop.
There it- Okay, so besides us kind of like being mean about Aki, you have to already in this first battle you've seen he brought some fucking heat sets,
Yeah.
and they either worked or you can see how they very very easily could have. As you
Yeah.
can see, this skill swap life orbed Mew,
That was pretty gross.
like that's legendary.
No, that was really good. It's also, I don't know.
Really is though.
Like when a team is this one-dimensional, like Trev's, like it's not. I don't think it's that hard to come up with a set like that. You know.
That's
like,
true.
Mew can do anything.
Especially when you have a team with versatile mons like Mega Sableye, Gudra, Nidoqueen,
Yeah,
Mew. Like
Exactly.
4 of those 6 are incredibly versatile in what they do.
Like,
Even Conk has a variety of sets. Go ahead.
the skill swap isn't an attack most people would think of regularly. And I really do like that he brought it here,
Yeah.
especially on a Mew who's already the most versatile.
Especially because it outsped all of his Swift Swimmers,
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
So like, and because they're base 80s, he could run Adamant Mew, which I'm sure he did. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a solid prep for sure. But let's go ahead and jump into game 2 for the sake of time. It looks like Trev brought the Electrode instead of what was it this time? He brought, or he left the Pert. He left the Pert at home this time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
Also,
think
his
smart.
Oh, who should talk?
No, go ahead.
Alright, I know his Electrode set, it's normal gem explosion. With probably 3 attacks.
So Trev brought, predicting the Talonflame bring on Aki's part, Trev brought Electrode the counter, basically, is what Riz was saying there.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Trev
I'm
is so
smart.
good, guys. Alright, let's just jump into this. We don't have much in terms of great
So,
commentary for this, so.
Yeah, I know this is like Bandit Outrage Kirim this time on Trev's behalf.
Bop.
As you can see,
Gets
it does
lucky on the roll.
99 to a Rotom. Yeah, I mean, Though he does get the 3-turner, so it's not the biggest of deal.
And then watch this.
This is where Aki actually asserts
Let's
dominance.
just pause and think about that for a second. That was a me first talent.
Yeah.
No, not to mention the fact
Like, that was awesome.
that was me first choice banded. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able
It's
to
like
kill.
he saw it coming.
It's like he knew his spread. Actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Proceeds to essentially destroy the electrode as well.
Yeah. And then Trev makes the
Bad play,
Yes.
and Aki completely predicts him.
just over and over again, as we've already seen through the series. Clicks Dragon Pulse when he definitely should have clicked the water move. There was no
Yeah.
water move there.
Yeah, because you could always click the dragon move after he goes into Gudra. Unless this is Specs. This might be Specs.
That's true, and in that case, it's not a complete shit play, but still. Just not the optimal one, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, Travis just always on his back foot for this entire series, and it's
Yeah.
definitely because of the matchup, plus Aki's prep was quite honestly brilliant.
This Stone Edge
But-
miss is unfortunate because if Trev was Adamant Life Orb, like, as you're gonna see, it's gonna die. But the thing is, the reason why it really didn't matter is because he would have been able to get that. The miss did not matter at all because after the Life Orb damage, the Thunderbolt would have killed anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, why did Polytoad have Ice Punch again? What was the reasoning behind that?
what was
Gudra,
Aki's?
for the Gudra.
Gudra.
Oh,
that's
that's it.
No, what I think he should have done is brought like a Trapper Polytoad, like Perish Song
Oh,
Whirlpool, and you can't run Drizzle, but you can still run Rain Dance on like several
That-
of his mons.
like also like Pert or Electro
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Like, I think it would have made a lot of sense if he trapped the Gudra with Polytoad. Maybe he was saving it for Game 3 though. That's very possible. But
I mean, maybe, but like you gotta get to Game 3 somehow. So
that's yeah, but that's I don't know, it just goes back to me really not liking Trev's team because it was so one-dimensional. He only had like rain sweepers that only functioned in the rain. They really didn't function at all outside of the rain.
Yeah. And then again,
That's
here
just kind
Aki
of a
brought
recipe for
the
disaster.
view that countered the rain with the Trick Room, which is also really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was essential for Kiram to stay alive because nothing resists and it hits so hard and he loses it turn 3. So it's like, well, dead.
Yeah, he really lost either Kiram completely or let it get really weakened early game both times, which was really the only Pokemon that had a good matchup. So
And there was no way to predict me first choice banded Talonflame.
No,
I mean he was choice banded locked in too. I'm more talking about game 1 where I think he didn't play the
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we lose this set, and pretty badly as well. But that puts
Trev.
the score of the war at 1-1. So Toad picked up the win, Trev picked up the fat loss, and we're going to have to bounce back from that most definitely. The goal is to reach 8 set wins, and we're 7 away from that at this point. But this does conclude the first episode of our League War battles, and these same guys will be joining me here for episode 2 here in a couple days. So I hope you're looking forward to that, and make sure to check out Aki's side of this video because or this battle. It's definitely worth a watch. And I will see you all in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.